So as you saw in the video with the West Virginians, another leading cause of water pollution in our tap water is due to the amount of runoff water we're getting in our system. Runoff water during storms flows down through the streets, mixing with various pollutants such as living bacteria, harmful pesticides, and disgusting trash just left out on the street, all flowing into a single waterway. From there, an article done by the National Resource Defense Council in February 2015 showed that approximately 10 trillion gallons per year of this water is mixing all into a single waterway, uninhibited and untreated. From there, that's not even the worst of it for some cities, because in some cities, it can be further contaminated by water from sinks, toilets, and showers, all flowing into that same single waterway, only further increasing the contamination of it. And that's not even the end of it, because from there, that water, that so-called water that's now basically raw sewage, is able to rise up through the works, bursting pipes and overflowing the system, making itself known so that it becomes a crisis and a public health risk. Another leading cause as to why this is happening is because authorities are not giving the proper attention to the communities being victimized by this, especially those in low-income areas. Now, the CDC composed a list of the top 10 leading causes of waterborne illness for outbreaks. This list included salmonella, the highly contagious hepatitis A, and the disgusting long-shelled, hard-shelled, long-lasting diarrhea-causing parasite known as Cryptosporidium, or crypto for short. In fact, Cryptosporidium has had an increase in outbreaks in an article done by LiveScience.com in June of 2015. When 2 years were compared side by side, the frequency at which Cryptosporidium was happening was that it increased a 50% amount. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I won't want any sort of parasite going inside of me. And the reason why it's able to do this is because at those outbreaks, it included areas such as chlorine-treated pools, spas, and hot tubs, because the Cryptosporidium shell is able to last chlorine-treated waters for up to 10 days, long enough so it can get inside of you. So now I've kind of grossed you out. I'll give it back to Sarah.
Thank you, Devin. So our last cause of this problem is disparity in infrastructure. Like what Devin has mentioned, it is more likely to be seen that the disparity in income in water infrastructure are more likely to be seen in lower income communities. And in CNN's article published on January 21st, 2016 by Kevin Lipczuk and Michelle Kosinski, the mayor of Michigan has taken a huge blame when the city of Flint has decided to take a cheaper route to wait until its water supply is being built. As much as they know about the Flint River water as an alternative, they were supplying contaminated water to hundreds of thousands of residents of Flint. And before they even switched back to Detroit's water in October 2015, they were, in 2015, the health damages that will have on the children of Flint and potentially their next generation is already irreversible. Now that we've drenched you with the causes of the problems, I will now hand it over back to Denise and Devin to wash you away with possible solutions.
Thank you, Sarah, for the intro. So there's many ways that we can prevent our water systems becoming like this. And one of the ways that we can do this is by having tighter rules and regulations in our local water systems. So we already have tight guidelines for which to follow. What it really comes down to is just enforcing those guidelines. According to the EPA, the CWA, the Clean Water Act, is the primary federal law that governs over water pollution. Now, the EPA under the CWA is responsible for monitoring our water pollutant sources and making sure our water is kept clean. So, where the EPA should be working with our state governors, senators, and the like to make sure that our water systems are clean and we're able to actually drink from it. And now I'll give it to Denise to handle the rest of the solutions.
Thank you. Another solution is to change our attitude. Our perspectives, priorities, and attitudes desperately need to change if we want to fix our infrastructures and regulations. If we don't care, no one else will. We can convey that we care by demanding the government renovate our infrastructures. They're very old, they've been made 100 years ago, they're creaky, rusted, and very outdated. In an article published by the NPR February 6, 2016, it proved that Flint was not alone. In St. Joseph, Louisiana, the tap water is a disgusting, distasteful, discolored brown. According to Jimmy Goudry, the Louisiana state health official, the problem is caused by the 90-year-old pipes that are constantly being repaired in St. Joseph. On November 2nd, 2015, the Agricultural Department of Documentation and Publications stated that the USDA spent $314 million on updating infrastructures for water and waste because there were rural communities that desperately needed it. Another article from The Sun, published April 17, 2014 by Jim Steinberg, said that Aaron Brockovich fought for Hinckley, California to regulate the chromium-6 levels that were present in the water. Eventually, a year later, he succeeded, and now there are stronger regulations put in place. Not only do we need to change our minds, we need to take action. We can take action by contacting our local government officials. We can ask them questions and give them our concerns about our tap water. We can also be aware of our tap water at home, not only from where the source is, but how it reaches your home. It's imperative to educate yourself on these matters. Another solution is to test the water yourself. You can buy water testing kits for a small price, but they offer even greater value. My partners and I measured the chlorine and pH of Mount San Antonio College's water. And today I'll demonstrate to you how we did that. This is to measure the chlorine and this is for the pH. You add 5 drops of the yellow solution to this to measure the chlorine. We add 5 for the pH of the red solution.
Now we can open the floor for some questions. Yes, Angelica?
What have you guys done to improve this?
Okay, so our group members have taken an active role in this by emailing our local city officials.
How long how long does it take to prevent anything like this to ever happen again?
What had happened in Flint, that there were disparities because they were a low-income community, and so what happened was they wanted to take a cheap route, and so instead of just paying $100 a day in order to treat the water, they took a cheap route and just directly piped the water. So it would take a while to improve our infrastructure, but it is very important. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay, I think that was the last question. Thank you for your questions.
Today, we revealed the dirty truth about America's tap water. First, we addressed the problem. And second, we showered you with the causes to this issue. And finally, we offered possible solutions.
So, we may not seem like it, but we are lucky. Places all over the world have access, not as much as we do. Yet here we are, letting ours be polluted until we cannot drink it. Rhonda Kelso and Kaylin may not have had the power to make a change, but we surely do. We must wash away any insecurities we might have and stand alongside one another and fight for our natural right.